of this new generation we've come into that I was really introduced to and really took time to take a look at. And then you take a look at someone like Olivia Holt, and you take a look at someone like Sabrina Carpenter, and you're thinking to yourself, there's so much an overflow of talent with Disney right now. How are you ever going to make time to talk about them all? I think that every Disney Channel star, especially their actresses, deserve an incredible amount of influence, an incredible amount of time to talk about them. They deserve it, and I think in time, these Disney Channel stars are going to be put over in ways that people from series like Wizards of Waverly Place and Hannah Montana and Sweet Life on Deck never were, and I think this generation of Disney is far more creative than what 10 years ago it was. I think that 10 years has really made a difference and really played on the direction of Disney, and I think that there's more promise that goes with people like Olivia Holt, Dove Cameron, Roland Blanchard, Sabrina Carpenter, Ben Savage, Daniel Fisher, who are back for this series, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here. Without a doubt, was there ever any doubt in the back of your mind that the show was going to take over the world? Because this series obviously has done that, and the theme song could not be more true. They're definitely taking on the world, and they've come to a position where they have taken over the world, especially in 2014, just last year. For the ratings reviews that this series was giving Disney, it was definitely on top as one of Disney's highest rated shows because of the themes, the messages, just how funny it was, how unpredictable the series was. I think that had a lot to do with also the creative energies of Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard, but also how we saw all these cast members of Boy Meets World coming in and out all the time. There are still a lot of appearances we are looking to see on Girl Meets World, which hopefully will get in there, like Corey's sister has yet to appear on that series. We've seen Mr. Feeney, we've seen Sean, we've seen Corey's parents. There's a lot of people who've come in, but there are just as many who we have yet to see on an episode of Girl Meets World. Just one time, I'd love to see Corey's sister on that series, some more friends at Topanga, some people you remember who made guest appearances on Boy Meets World, like Vader and Mick Foley. There's no reason why they can't come in to get a spot on Girl Meets World with how funny it is, with how they could probably interact with these Disney Channel stars in ways they did in the past with the original cast of Boy Meets World, and how they can really, elevate a star on Disney Channel who really needs to find a way of motivating themselves. I've been really impressed with this series, to be honest with you. I know I haven't posted as many video blogs on this series per se as I have a Liv and Maddie series or a Dog with a Blog series. Maybe because I could find more time in criticizing a show with like Dog with a Blog than I ever could Girl Meets World. Now, I have thrown criticism in the way of Girl Meets World. I want to also apologize for not only not taking time to put over Sabrina Carpenter, but I also want to take time and apologizing for not putting over Girl Meets World as much as what I have a series like Dove Cameron's Liv and Maddie, or a series like I Didn't Do It, which is only in their second or third season. The reason why I've been putting over a show like I Didn't Do It was because you take a look at Olivia Holt from Disney XD, and of course her role on Kicking It as part of the Black Dragons. She was so phenomenal on there, so when she got into more of a comically reprising role on Disney's I Didn't Do It as Livy, I think it was just amazing how we saw her, transition into these roles, and that's why she stood out more to me than what Sabrina Carpenter did, and maybe because she, fit my preference of a Disney Channel star. And probably if I was, behind the casting for I Didn't Do It, or a series like Girl Meets World, probably Olivia Holt probably would have gotten a role over someone like a Roland Blanchard, because she just fit my preference of a Disney Channel star. Not saying that Sabrina Carpenter or Roland Blanchard didn't have the talent, but it's only now that I'm actually realizing it 2 years after Girl Meets World has come along. Sabrina Carpenter is getting numbers, and I'm really impressed by what she's doing both musically and as an actress, and I think that both directions her career is headed in are really, really impressive. It's really impressive times, and if there ever was somebody who was a fan of Girl Meets World and this spin-off, it definitely is me, and I think that's why there's more of time for me to, kind of put over this series than find time in criticizing it, because I know there are a lot of people out there who would want to make time to criticize this series, who really have no business criticizing a series that they probably don't know anything about in the way of background information, things they've read about online, because that's really all these reviews have been compiled from and derived from, is the fact that people will read something online about a star like Sabrina Carpenter or Roland Blanchard, and they'll just find time and coming down hard on series like Girl Meets World and Dog with a Blog. And I don't know why people do that. I come down hard on a series like Dog with a Blog, and I Didn't Do It on times, because there's not enough creativity with, not enough creative energy with I Didn't Do It. Even though the stars are hot like Olivia Holt, there's not enough creative energy. And Dog with a Blog is the same adequate concept we've seen either reiterated for a Disney Channel movie or a Disney Channel original series, which we've seen time and time again, and everybody knows that I am a real hater on on how history has had a tendency to always repeat itself with things like Disney and just different things I profiled over the years. And I really hate how history has a tendency to be often reiterated and repeated. And I want to see new things for Disney, especially in this era. We've come away from Hannah Montana, Sweet Life, Wizards of Waverly Place. They've all moved on. And I think that someone like a Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard, if not beyond the category of an Ariana Grande, will get there at some point in time. You know, the more I think about it, they're probably not at a level of an Ariana Grande just yet because they haven't come away from Disney, but they are going to get there, and in time, let's say by 2017, another 2 years for Sabrina Carpenter, another 2 years for Dove Cameron, another 2 years for Roland Blanchard, another 2 years for Olivia Holt. You put on the years, and you keep compiling the years up and up and up for someone like a Sabrina Carpenter, and they will eventually be elevated to superstardom if they haven't already got there, and eventually be elevated to a level of an Ariana Grande, who obviously took years to get to that position. But I am really looking for big things to happen for someone like a Sabrina Carpenter, and that's something to be highlighted with a yellow highlighter for this video blog. And if there ever was something to take away from it, is the fact that I really believe and truly believe, I have an incredible amount of faith and people like Roland Blanchard and Sabrina Carpenter. Don't forget about the chemistry we see between these celebrities on camera. The chemistry between Roland Blanchard and Sabrina Carpenter, you know, like Miley and Emily just couldn't get along off of camera, and that's why sometimes the chemistry just wasn't there for Miley and Emily, but the chemistry really seems to be there for Roland and Sabrina, and I really appreciate how the chemistry is there. It's not looked at enough on a show like Girl Meets World, but it is highlighted by reviewers on the internet who give time in talking about the chemistry between Roland and Sabrina, and I wish there was more of a reiteration on the chemistry, because chemistry between actors and actresses on set is really important. It's one of the driving factors behind a series' success, and if you don't have that chemistry, there's no way a series is going to be put over. For instance, you know, having to stop tape and production of Hannah Montana because two actresses can't get along because of some animosity for God knows what reasons. The producers having to tell them they have to get along because there's so much money and time put into the series, and if they wanted to be a success, they just have to pull it together. Eventually they did. By the time season 3 had been filmed, they came up with a movie in 2009, but I mean, you know, there was only one season left, and probably that had a lot to do with how they were able to become friends eventually. But we're not seeing that with Roland and Sabrina. We're just seeing chemistry on the set all the time, and that's why not only chemistry between them, but everybody who's had something to do with Girl Meets World, the producers, the writers, the cast members making guest appearances from Boy Meets World back in the day. There's just so much great chemistry, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, because not enough chemistry is always a good thing. More and more chemistry can be seen with Girl Meets World, and I think I can get away with saying that this series, even though it's come a long way, it still has a long way to go. I just mentioned how the kids could graduate high school. There could be something created and derived off that. Really looking forward to finding out how they're going to play off, you know, the things that are happening from episode to episode. The first season of Girl Meets World got such high reviews. Disney said, you know, this is our cash cow. This is our go-to for Disney Channel. You know, when other shows like Liv and Maddie and some of our animated shows like Gravity Falls and the 7D aren't panning out, we've always got Girl Meets World to fall back on, and they know that, and that's why they're constantly promoting it. That's why they're always putting it over every time a new episode comes around. For Girl Meets World, they always have a marathon to promote it. They always have fans talking about it on social media, on the fan pages on Facebook and Twitter of Girl Meets World, which, by the way, I have liked. And again, you know, I apologize for not making time to talking about Sabrina Carpenter, which is why I think over the next at least 2 to 3 weeks on this YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22, I'm going to be putting out a few Sabrina Carpenter video blogs, probably at least 2. Maximum to coincide with this latest review of Girl Meets World. As a follow-up to my previous Girl Meets World video blogs on my channel, I will be featuring this video for you. It's just I've been really impressed with this series, so I can kind of give it a round of applause for coming as far as what it has and how far it has yet to go. Really excited to see where this series is going to pick up where it's left off. From some previous series of Girl Meets World, and just, you know, just how much is really put out there. It's really thrown out there, and I think you cannot go without applauding the success of Girl Meets World. I expect really big things for them in the coming future, and on a scale of 5 stars, you can easily rate at least 4.5 out of 5 stars, not going all the way, because there still is a lot of unanswered questions in pertention to Girl Meets World, but one of the driving forces behind this series, she's won my heart over. It definitely is Sabrina Carpenter. Not choosing to choose her over Roland Blanchard, because I'm just as much of a fan of Roland Blanchard as I am Sabrina Carpenter. But when you're putting out music like Sabrina Carpenter, like her Christmas music, for instance, which I've heard all throughout Christmas 2015, especially that song, It's Finally Christmas. What an amazing song that Sabrina Carpenter's got out there, along with all her other Christmas music. And some of the music that she's got on YouTube, looking at the videos she's put up on YouTube for Stuck in the Middle of Nowhere, over 17 million views on YouTube, 17 million subscribers on Facebook, and 17 million followers, something like that, between 10 to 17 million followers on Twitter. It's just amazing when you have the numbers that Sabrina Carpenter is putting out there. 17 million views on YouTube is just really impressive. It blows my mind, and it kind of makes me wonder, where is Sabrina Carpenter going to be 5 to 6 years from now? As a fan of Disney Channel for years, I have never seen someone like Sabrina Carpenter come along and have the following that she has now, and that's why I'm always often reiterating, how much of a fan I am of Sabrina Carpenter. So in the final few minutes of this series, I want to take a couple of minutes to obviously apologize for not having talked about Sabrina Carpenter as much as what I probably should have been. Putting so much time into Dove Cameron, Olivia Holt kind of took away from that. But I want to make a promise from here on out to be talking about Sabrina Carpenter more as we head into a new year of 2016. That's one of my New Year's resolution, to talk about Sabrina Carpenter more on my show and my new way of recording my series, of course, off the headset with the digital recording device. We're going to be talking more about Sabrina Carpenter in the coming months as we make our way into 2016, and it should be a promising year as we guarantee a future for Sabrina Carpenter with the millions of followers that she has on Facebook and Twitter, and of course on Instagram as well, where she's always posting photos and videos, really putting herself out there in a way that I can't ever, having seen any remembered Disney Channel stars of the past like Selena and Miley, ever doing, even though they have unprecedented popularity, even more so with Selena Gomez's new song, Can't Help Myself. That's an amazing song that she's got out there now.